With keyboard, mouse and trackpad support, the iPad Pro is becoming more and more like a regular computer. But the accessories are still very expensive, so in this video we're looking at a few cheap, affordable accessories that will enhance your iPad Pro experience. This week, Apple will begin to ship their iPad Pro Magic Keyboard. Now this is a great looking device and revolutionary in its design, but it comes at a hefty price tag at $299 for the 11-inch version and $349 for the 12.9-inch version. This is quite expensive. So we're looking at a few standard cases in this video and a couple of accessories that we think will enhance your iPad Pro experience. Now the first thing that we're going to be looking at is not a case, in fact it's a stand to hold your iPad up. Now this is the UGreen Stand. It's a very simple device which adjusts to multiple positions. It comes in at around £11, around $11, so it's very affordable, but it looks good on any desk and it gives you that variance of a different angle depending on your position. This is also very handy if you're traveling because it will fold completely flat and you can chuck it in any bag. So for just £11 or $11, you've got a very handy little stand, and it's also got a protective rubber strip so that you won't damage your tablet. Okay, so next up is the simplest of the cases that we're going to be looking at today, and it is literally just this little sleeve that goes around the iPad. It's a silicone rubber and it fits brilliantly. It's very, very light as you'd expect, and it literally just adds a protective covering to the rear and to all of the sides. Now this has got all of the cutouts for the speakers and the USB-C charging point, as well as leaving space for the Apple Pencil to be able to magnetically attach, and I'll show you that in just a second. So this costs just $12.99 in the US, $12.99 in the UK. It's very, very cheap. Now, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this if you're traveling around, but certainly for using this around the house, around your home, it works perfectly well. It protects obviously the iPad. If you want to put a screen protector on, you can also, not a problem, but everything will work and it gives you that added security and protection. This case, being the slimmest and lightest, also makes it work the best if you're using it with the stand which we showed you previously, and you're using it in this type of setup where you've got a keyboard, a mouse and a trackpad. You won't even really know it's wearing a case at all. But what if you want something a little bit more substantial? Well, then you may want to try out this type of case from Lout. This is called the Inflight Folio. Now I've had cases from Lout in the past and I've always been really impressed with the build quality. They did send me this through free of charge, but they haven't asked me to say anything good or bad about it, and I know that on the previous version, the 2018 model, a lot of people felt that it didn't fit right, so I was very interested to see how well this fitted, and I'm pleased to report that it fits like an absolute glove. This is the slightly cheaper version, the Inflight Folio, and actually this is my favorite of the two. It gives obviously the protective cover to the front and the back. It's a little bit more open around the edges, so just bear that in mind if you are going to be traveling and you're worried about dropping it. You may want to go for the next model, which I'll show you in a second, but again it's got the cutouts. But this feels very, very premium. It does add a little bit of weight to it, but it's certainly not too much at all. When it comes to price, this is $44.99 in the US, around £45. I'll leave links in the description. Now this can also be used as a stand. There's a couple of different positions that you can have it, and one thing that I noticed straight away, and I'll show you in a second, is that when you have it in the lower stand mode, it is very, very rigid, very, very easy to type on, and it literally does not move, and it feels incredibly strong, almost strong enough to stand something on it. It is that strong, and when I push down on it really hard, it hardly moved at all. So if you are looking for something which you can operate on your lap in this position, then as you can see, I'm really pushing down very hard and it hardly moves at all. So that's something which you ought to consider. So what about if you want to hook this up to a keyboard and mouse? Again, you can set it in that upright position and it works really well. So you can either use something like the stand I showed you right at the very start, or you can use this. So a great option, and this is the slightly cheaper option of the two, which I'm going to be showing you today from Lout. The next one I'm showing you is the Prestige version, and this offers just a little bit more protection. So the main difference between the Prestige and the Inflight Folio is the fact that this sits inside the case. And what I mean by that is it has 360-degree protection all around every edge and also the back, and then obviously when it's closed, the front as well. It still offers you a similar sitting position, but it gives you that added protection so that if you do drop it, pretty much on any edge, it should protect your iPad. One thing that you'll notice straight away as well is that you can actually put your Apple Pencil inside this case. Now, carrying an Apple Pencil around by the magnetic strip on the edge does mean sometimes it comes off. Here you've got the choice. You've got that strip still where you can pop the pencil if you want to, but if you want it more secure and you're traveling, then you can pop it inside the case and it's a lot more secure, and you're definitely less likely to drop it and certainly less likely to lose it. So the price point of the Prestige version is also very competitive, just $49.99 in the US, that's around £50 in the UK, and again, links are in the description. One thing that I really like about this one, again, you've got the two separate positions. You can either have it flat like this or upright. So there you go, my friends, that's 4 different accessories for your iPad Pro, which will save you a whole load of money. And maybe with that saving, you can go out and potentially purchase a keyboard and a mouse and still have some change left over. I do hope this video has been useful for you. Be sure to check out the links in the description for more information, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.